All right, everybody, welcome back to the channel, and don't forget, hit the like, subscribe button, all that stuff. I post 1, 2, or 3 videos every day. Quick one on Chrysler, then we got so much Chevy stuff that we are going to dive into today, a whole ton of this stuff. So before we do, quick one on Stellantis here. They said they are going to experiment with Chrysler to fill the gaps. We're not going to dive into it too deep. It says it's now essentially a minivan brand selling only a Pacifica and Voyager. How does a struggling American brand, which turned 100 last week, plan to get back in shape? By experimenting. They're saying basically it's ripe for a new chapter, and it is going to revamp and attract new clientele by targeting brand new conquest customers. And it's got numerous products across its vast portfolio. There are still gaps that Chrysler will attempt to fill with oncoming vehicles. So that's basically it. We're going to leave it at that, pretty simple, but they are going to try to use Chrysler to fill the gaps throughout the Stellantis lineup. We will see how that works and what it does. Pretty interesting to see. Now, moving on. Here we go. A lot of Chevy stuff. GM Authority was just pumping them out here for us. Like I said, we got 1, 2, 3, 4, like 7 of them real quick we're going to go through. First one, GM Silverado 1500 grabbed a solid chunk of the marketplace in May. Remember, May was one of the worst months for GM for the Sierra and Silverado because of this huge 6.2 debacle. Everything happening with that. Plus, we got all the trans issues in the HD lineup. Okay, this should have been brutal. Should have been horrible for them. No. Okay, GM Authority has learned that more than 27,000 units of the Silverado 1500 were delivered in the month of May 2025 alone. That's a little more than a third of the truck's Q1 2025 sales performance, which totaled 78,199, meaning it's slightly outpacing the monthly average for the first quarter. May crushed it. They did fantastic. From the first day of January 25 through the end of May 2025, the Silverado earned a 24% market share in hyper-competitive full-size truck market segment in the U.S. Ford F-150 is consistently the best-selling model in the class, but combining the sales numbers for the Silverado 1500 and the Sierra 1500 makes GM the automaker that sells the most trucks in the U.S. We've said that many times. The Silverado's 1500 sales performance in the first quarter of the year totaled 78,199, which is down 7.6% compared to Q1 of 2024. However, in that same period, sales of the Chevy Silverado HD line were up 12.4% to 47,099 for Q1 of 2025. Meanwhile, sales of the Sierra 1500 and the Sierra HD were both up by healthy amounts. Grand total shook out 4.87% rise in GM full-size truck sales for the first quarter. So they crushed it. They're killing it. They're doing fantastic. They're straight up blowing the doors off of it, even though their 6.2's in real trouble with a recall on 600,000 of them. So we saw the same thing happen with Toyota when Toyota was in trouble with the engine recall on there. Nobody cared. People buying them like crazy. Proof is that very few people watch YouTube. Very few people pay attention to this stuff. They just go out and buy what they want. And that's a good thing. Ignorance is bliss for a lot of people. I love it. And I would still buy these. Like I said, I love this truck. I think it's a beautiful, beautiful thing on every level, and I'm glad your sales are rocking. How they do compared to everything, it says here, as covered before, the 2027 Silverado 1500 will introduce GM's next generation 6th gen small block V8 gas engine, boosting enhanced performance and a 10% reduction in greenhouse gases emission compared to the current small block. That scares me. That 10% reduction in greenhouse gases, all I'm hearing there is tighter EPA restrictions, thinner oil, and more BS that's going to be a problem. But we'll see. So that's our first one on here of all this Chevy content. Moving on to the next one here. 2026 Colorado production start move forward to this date. So 2026 model year is the fourth production year for the 3rd gen Colorado and the Canyon, both of which continue to gain momentum in a highly competitive mid-sized market segment. They're crushing it. The Tacoma beats them, but they're doing so good. With major updates aren't anticipated for 2026, minor changes such as new paint colors are expected to keep the lineup fresh. General Motors prepares for the upcoming production cycle. There's also some new things coming, pretty cool, we're going to talk about literally in a couple seconds for 2026. Now, GM has authority that learned of a revised date for when production of the 2026 Chevy Colorado and the Canyon will officially get underway. So let's take a look at that. It says, originally reported it was going to kick off and begin on July 7th. The date has been moved ahead 1 week to July 1st, a week earlier than originally planned. Manufacturers will continue at the GM Wentzville assembly plant in Missouri. So this is going to kick off literally, what is that? That's like 21 days. 21 days from now, 3 weeks from now, here comes the new 2026 is going to be out. GM Authority previously covered the Chevy Colorado is enjoying a notable sales upswing. U.S. deliveries surged to 25.9 thousand units, so basically 26,000 units in Q1 of 2025, up 73% from 14,922 in Q1 of 2024. On and on. Anyway, Mexico did good too. Here's where the other ones are. Despite these gains, the Toyota Tacoma continues to predictably dominate the segment. Q1 2025 sales soared 176% to 60,000 units for the Tacoma in the first quarter. Okay, that's pretty good. What did we say that this was here? Surge to, for just a Colorado, was 26,000 units, and I don't see in here, I might miss it, but where it was for the Canyon combined. I don't remember where it was here, but they're crushing it. Toyota is definitely doing pretty good. First unit here. Ford Ranger, only 14,913 units. Frontier, 14,481 units. And the Gladiator, 12,000 units. Here it is. Canyon right here. Canyon came in at, for the first quarter at 9,096. So if you combine 9,000 with this 26,000, that basically it's going to put you at basically 35,000 units basically. So you're 35 versus 59 for the Tacoma when you combine the GM twins on there. Pretty interesting though, and it does still get the Turbo Max for all of them, 310 amazing horsepower, but the incredible 430 pound-feet of torque. Love this motor, love the truck. Next one, here we go. More 2026 is now bringing back the LT trim. The LT trim is coming back. Okay, it was here for 23 and 24 and gone for 25, I think, and now it's back. And it is an ordering change. So what is it? Among these updates, there will be 2 new wheel options. General Motors is also implementing a significant order change. We'll talk about the 2 wheel options in a minute. General Motors is also implementing a significant order change for 2026 Colorado LT trim level. According to sources familiar with the matter, GM will reintroduce the 2LT and 4LT equipment group designations for 2026 model year, referring to the LT two-wheel drive and the LT four-wheel drive model configurations respectively. This reverts back to the name format used in 2023 and 2024 before GM briefly made the LT an optional package for the work truck trim in conjunction with the 2025 model year. Although the trim will continue to be called LT, on the consumer side, internally, the different configurations use different codes, with a PCJ used for two-wheel drive and a PCP used for four-wheel drive models. Beyond a small internal ordering update, the 2026 Colorado LT is expected to retain the same equipment and specs as the 2025 model. That includes a 17-inch Argent metallic aluminum wheels, the Stowflex tailgate with built-in storage, and a suite of safety and infotainment systems. The truck will also offer heated front seats, an 11.3-inch touch display with Google built in, and both the safety package and Chevy Safety Assist active safety suites are going to be part of this package. So pretty cool. We like that. We like seeing it. Next one on here. Told you there's a bunch. New Silverado Sierra software update looks to fix infotainment issues. If you have a 2025, this is only for the 2025. There's an over-the-air update. It says right here, a new over-the-air software update for full-size trucks is being pushed out to owners. If you accept this update, it's going to improve improvements to software performance, fix audio system performance, improve connectivity for Bluetooth, fixes to help ensure successful software updates and notifications, and it fixes address instance of inactive driver display, and it improves the functionality for USB steering wheel controls. This is rolling out now, and it's going to be there for you. It's going to take about 15 minutes to install, as you see right there, during which the vehicle needs to be parked and turned off. Additionally, the radio on it must stay, we see this. I see this on Tina's when it does an over-the-air update. The radio will stay on. When you turn the car off, the radio just stays on for up to 5 minutes after you exit the vehicle. It's normal, and that's what it is. I had to look it up and see what it is. It's because of over-the-air updates. No big deal there. But for some reason, 2022 and 22.5, 2023 and 2024s are not listed as being compatible with this update, despite having the same infotainment center and running the same Global B electrical system. But this update is basically for 2025s only. So you can dive into that more if you want to. They're probably not going to push it to you. They're only going to push it to you if you have a 2025 model year. But pretty cool. Watch for that. Next one, the two wheels. For now, we get right here. Chevy Colorado will offer 2 new wheel choices. We don't know what's coming for the Canyon yet, but 2 new wheels are going to be part of the option for the 2026 Colorado. Both are 20-inch diameter wheels offered specifically on a 2026 Chevy Colorado trim levels. They include the 20-inch high-gloss black aluminum wheel, which will be offered on a Trail Boss models, and a 20-inch painted aluminum wheel with machine-faced and Grazen-painted pockets, which will be offered on a Z71. So this one right here that we're seeing, this is a Z71 wheel option. This is a Colorado Trail Boss option that we can see right here. So Trail Boss and Z71, pretty sweet wheels. For now, it's unclear if these new wheels will replace wheel options offered previously on a 2025 Colorado, or if it'll simply be added as addition to. Okay, it says here, though, to note, there are already 14 wheel options available for the 2025 Colorado. That shocks me, so I did pull that up, so we'll take a look. But these are the ones for the Z71. Here's a bigger picture of the ones that are going to be on the Colorado as an option in a 20-inch. We go here. Here it is. Here are all the 2025 wheels. So you can see them right here. 17-inch, your standard Steelies right here. You got the 17-inch beadlock capable ones right here. You got this 20-inch high gloss black. 17, you can see them here. I'll let you look at them, but you can see all the different wheels that they offer. I didn't even know they offered this many wheels, but this is pretty, like here's the ZR2 wheels right here. Didn't even know that this many wheels was an option, but they currently have 14 wheels available for the Colorado alone. This is not the Canyon. This is just the Colorado. That is pretty cool to see. So questions, comments on any of this stuff. There's a lot of information in a quick one. Put them down below. Thanks for watching.